Hello, everyone. Hello, 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 and welcome to Rustic Barn Cards. I am Terry Hartley, an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator coming to you from Southeast Iowa. And I am so glad you're here, whether you're watching this live or the replay. Today is Tuesday, April the 15th of 2025. Yes, the dreaded tax day here in the US. All right, let me just click a few buttons so when you pop on, I can see you. All right. Okay, well, I hope that your week is off to a good start. And hello, Maria. I am doing well, and I hope you are too. So today we are going to be using the stamp set with you in mind. We're going to make a thank you card, and I will be showing you how to make this birthday card. So those are the two cards that we're going to make today, quick and easy. But before we do that, with we are going to start with barn chats. And if you're new to my channel, barn chats is usually at the end, and that is where I answer any questions, and you can put those in the comments, and I might share something about what's going on in my world, and of course at Rustic Barn Cards. There's a lot going on, so I'm going to do this at the beginning, and of course I also give prizes out during barn chats. Three ways you can get your name in for a random drawing is by leaving a comment, um, and whether you're watching it live or the replay, sharing my video. Please let me know if you share the video, because sometimes it tells me and sometimes it doesn't. And then by placing an order with me. So I'll be giving those prizes out, but I do have several things going on that I want to tell you about. So I'm going to turn the camera down and we'll cover those quickly, and then we'll get back to our stamping. All right. Well, this is our new catalog that's going to be launched on May 6th. So if you don't have a catalog, and you haven't, if you've ordered with me in the last year, you're going to receive a catalog. Otherwise, reach out to me. And we have these beautiful in color. We have strawberry slush, darling duckling, cloud cover, timid tiger, and excuse me, Secret Sea, Secret Sea, Timid Tiger, and Cloud Cover. Um, and so I did receive a sample of all the colors. And so I love, love, love these colors. So I'm going to be offering, as I usually do, an in color club. So the in color club is a great way to budget, and you will receive, each month you'll receive a variety of products for one color. So my ink color club, you'll get an ink pad, a refill, two stamping, a pack of blends, which is two, one light and one dark. You'll get 8 sheets of the 6x6 Designer Series paper each month, because this is a subscription for 5 months. Starts next month, May through September. So when you're finished, you'll have some products of all of the 5 new in colors. You get a hand stamped card using the in color for the month, envelope to go with that. You'll get a printed color coach, and it just has us like 3 other colors that go with that, with the in color, to kind of help you decide what colors that will kind of match and go with that. The first month you will receive a free gift, and the last month, on month 5, you will receive a free gift, and that's averages out about a 750 value for each month. So for an example, this is an example of, hi Sheila, yes, you like the cards. I'm using a new stamp for this card, something about jar. That's all I can remember. I should have it with me. But this is a sample of what you would receive for 1 month, for each month. But this is like 1 month sample for the In Color Club. And the In Color Club is $34 each month for local pickup, and then $10 to ship. And then you can read all about this. There's a information in the description, and you can, the deadline to sign up is May 4th, and then I will start invoicing on the 29th. In Color Club ships on the 16th of the month. All right, so that's about the In Color Club. And then today is my last day. If you want to be a member of my Rustic Ink Creations, this is my club, my monthly club, and you make 6 cards, 2 of each. And again, this is, and you, the last day to sign up, and you get tutorials. And let me just kind of show you. So we're using Meant to Be bundle for this month. The bundle you can add on. It does not come with it, but you receive $23 to $25 a product, and you have a kit that will make 2 of each of these cards. And this is a fun fold. And then this card here has a belly band and is also a fun fold. And again, your kit makes 2 of each of these, so it makes 6. And here is an example of, this is a club, this was the club package from January. So just a sample what my club looks like. I do give, if you get 12 by 12, I always send out the full sheet. If you get 12 by 12 designer series paper, you get the full sheets. Okay, oh, prizes, yes. So let's do our prizes, and then we'll get started on stamping. And hi, Lola. Hello, Judy. I think, yes, I agree. The colors are beautiful. They sure are. Okay, well, let me give the prizes for last week. So, congratulations to the winner of the random drawing for leaving a comment, Judy Poole from Iowa. You will receive this package of tinsel gems, and this is a 3-pack. And hi, Judy. So, Judy, I don't know if you were on, I just saw you hop on, but you won this for leaving a comment. You were the winner of last week's random drawing, and you're going to receive this package of tinsel gems. And we're going to use these gems on our cards today. So, but not these, because these are yours, Judy. All right. So then, congratulations to the random drawing for sharing my video last week. And congratulations, Sheila Bell of Iowa. Iowa must be the winners this week. You're going to receive the 6x6 Lily Pond Designer Series paper. So, and you're on here, Sheila. So that will be going to you. And then for placing an order with me, the random drawing, congratulations, the random drawing for the winner for placing an order. Sheila Munley of Nebraska. And I'm sending the Hooray for Surprises bundle. So it has dies and the stamp set and dies. So again, those are the 3 ways to get in the random drawing. All right, I'm going to turn the camera down and we are going to do some stamping. So we're going to start off with this card right here, a thank you card. And I'm using Soft Sea Foam and Misty Moonlight. And as I mentioned, there, I'm going to be using With You in Mind. I'm also going to be using Spotlight on Nature dies. And With You in Mind is current and it will continue to be current. Spotlight on Nature dies, I'm not for sure. I meant to check, but right now Stampin' Up! They are, I should have checked yesterday, but they are offline for a few hours. So I'm not for sure. But these are the dies. Aren't they beautiful? So either way, if you want them, you'd want whether they're on last chance or not. You can check that out. Now, I do know the gems we're going to use today are on last chance. So the tinsel gems, they're called, yeah, tinsel gems 3-pack. They are on last chance, but they are still available. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our card base. And this is soft sea foam. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold that in half. And then our card is going to open up this way today. You can do it this way, landscape or portrait. And so I'm going to lay that aside, and we're going to, these are all the pieces that we need. So you have two Misty Moonlight cardstock layers and two soft sea foam, but the smaller ones are going to be for the inside. And so we're going to lay that aside, and I'm going to start with the soft sea foam that is 5 1/4 by 4. And so, and I'm going to bring in our soft sea foam ink. We need soft sea foam today and Misty Moonlight. And then I'm using the leaf from the With You in Mind stamp set. So I'm just going to ink that up. And I am going to kind of start in the middle. And I'm just going to randomly stamp. So we're kind of making our own designer series paper. I really like to stamp tone on tone using the same ink as I do the cardstock. Of course, you don't have to. You could use a different color for contrast. Now, some of this will be covered up, but we'll just see if I can get one of those. I think that will be just fine, right, like that. I'm going to lay this aside, and I'm going to go ahead and do all of my stamping. And I have two circles that I punched out of the dies, Spotlight on dies. So I use the larger for the Misty Moonlight and then Soft Sea Foam. And I'm going to bring in Thank You, which is in the stamp set. And we're going to go ahead and stamp that in Misty Moonlight. Lola, when you say you can't log in to the website, do you mean Facebook or YouTube? And you're welcome, Sheila. Or is one of my, or did you try to click on one of my links in the description and that's not working? Okay, so I'm going to ink the, and then I'm going to stamp this right here, straight down. And I like holding it kind of like the count of 3, just to make sure the ink goes onto the cardstock, so we get that full look. So Lola, you can go to YouTube and type in Rustic Barn Cards, or it should be on Facebook at Rustic Barn Cards. So I'm not sure. I'm hoping everything is working. Okay, we're going to go ahead and just layer these two together. So bring in my adhesive. So we'll just put that right there. Okay, lay that aside. Then I'm going to bring in the Misty Moonlight layer, and this is 5 1/4 by 4. And then the soft sea foam is 5 by 3 3/4. So I may have said that wrong earlier, but the Misty Moonlight is 5¼ by 4, and then this is just smaller, and it's 5 by 3¼ and 3 3/4, 3 3/4. So it's going to layer just right on top of there. So I'm going to add some adhesive, maybe. You don't need a lot of glue. Our adhesive is really, really good, and it really adheres well. Oh, yes, Lola. I'm sorry. I understand now. Yes, that's what I meant. Stampin' Up is down for 6 hours today because they're changing the Stampin' Rewards, so there will not be a host code anymore. So what's really great, every order of $20 or more, um, customers will receive 10% Stampin' Rewards that you can use on your next order. So kind of think of that like as Kohl's. So they went offline, let's see, Central Time about 9 o'clock. So they should be back on around a little after 3 o'clock this afternoon, Central Time. So yes, you're right. They are offline right now. And that's why I wasn't able to check to see if the spotlight on nature dies were on the last chance list because I didn't check it yesterday and I knew they were going to be off today, but what can I say? So I brought in some linen thread. Linen thread is like a really basic, I mean, it's just something you should have in your craft in your craft stash if you don't. So I'm going to wrap around this 2 times. I do have in my description of this video, I do have all of the products that I used today, so make it easier for you. So I'm wrapping this around twice. And then I'm going to grab my scissors and snip that. And then I'm going to tie a bow, maybe. Now, I can work with linen thread. Ribbon is a little bit easier for me, but baker's twine I really struggle with, but I linen thread, nor usually I do okay, but we'll see how today works, right? So I make the bow and then I can kind of hold the middle and kind of just, and with the linen thread, you kind of have to kind of work with, I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller, I think. You kind of have to work with the loops and just kind of stretch them out to make a loop because sometimes they like to twist. So see how this one's twisted, but then usually if you can kind of, well, the top one cooperated. We'll see if this bottom one will. And of course, sometimes you can use glue dots too if you can't, but usually you can get the, there we go, see? So now we are going to add this to the front of our card base. And of course, you could pop this up with dimensionals if you wanted to, but we're just going to add adhesive. And sometimes I like to open it like this, just makes it a little bit flat, and it's a little easier to add my layer on here. So get that lined up the best we can. We can always work on our bow a little bit later. And then we're going to bring in our thank you. We're going to bring in our dimensionals. And we are going to pop up our thank you. So when you need quick thank you cards, this is a great design. You could use any stamp set, of course, but just make your own kind of designer series paper, or add designer series paper would be another option. So this is Misty Moonlight and Soft Sea Foam. And then we are just going to kind of place that right about there. And then I'm going to bring in our gems. And our gems have Misty Moonlight and Fresh Freesia. And the green, I'm not sure whether that is garden green or what. But I know we have Misty Moonlight, and Fresh Freesia. I think I'm going to use the putty end to pick up. And we're going to use the larger ones. So we'll put one about right here. And we'll put one down there. All right, so here is our first card. Thank you. But we're not finished with it because we're going to add something on the inside. So I'm going to bring in that smaller piece of Misty Moonlight and that smaller soft sea foam. And the soft sea foam is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. I'm going to lay that right here because the soft sea foam is light enough that you can write on. Now, if I'm using a dark, like if I was using Misty Moonlight, I would put a basic white layer on. But inside, I wanted just to kind of show off that Misty Moonlight, kind of give that, so I wanted to add the Misty Moonlight and then the soft sea foam again. So here is our quick thank you. And then inside, you can write your message. And then you have, I also was going to, but I forgot. It's probably better to stamp your leaf before, but let's go ahead and add a little leaf inside just for, I got ahead of myself, didn't I? So we'll go ahead and ink this up and stamp that right there. And that kind of little finish touch there. So this is the inside and that is the outside. All right. Now, the next card is a birthday card. So we're going to be using a happy birthday. We're going to be using a cupcake. Measurements. And we're going to start with a basic white card base, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. Our Misty Moonlight is 5 1/4 by 4. And then you're going to need soft sea foam at 5 1/2 by 3 3/4. And then for your sentiment strip, it is 1 1/2 by 4. All right, let's go ahead and do our stamping first. So we're going to stamp happy birthday, and then we're going to stamp on our soft sea foam. So let me go ahead and open. Now this card's going to be just a little bit different. So we're going to go ahead and ink up happy birthday in the Misty Moonlight. And we're going to stamp that. Just like that. And then lay that aside. And that is all of the Misty Moonlight ink we need. So we're going to come back with our soft sea foam. But you're not going to have to watch me do all the stamping because then once again, I'm using the cupcake but I already have one finished. So you just randomly go ahead and stamp this. And then when you have that done, it's going to look like this. Yes, Judy, I do too sometimes. Like you like to add things inside. Yes. All right. So we're going to do something with this. But before we do that, we are going to take this layer of Misty Moonlight cardstock that again is 5¼ by 4. And I'm going to bring in this painted, I think it's painted plaster and 3D embossing folder. And then we will just emboss that. And by magic, this is what it looks like. So I think that is so pretty. All right. And then we're going to layer these. But before we do that, we're going to do some cutting. So I'm going to grab our trimmer. So again, the soft sea foam cardstock is 4½ by 3¾ and then we are going to cut this into 3 strips and we're going to cut at 1½ I'm going to try not to talk while I'm cutting because we all know that I can't do both. And so then I bring this in and we will layer these right on top and then we would adhere these together and then on this we would take our twine and wrap it around the end and tie a bow just like we did on the thank you card and then add it to our basic white cardstock and then you have this card right here. So I'm not going to finish the entire card, but again, I wanted to show you how to, to stamp and then to cut that apart 1½ and we added it to the Misty Moonlight that has been embossed with the painted. And then with our basic white, we just wrap the linen thread around 2 or 3 times, tie a bow, and I popped up the happy birthday with dimensionals. So, and then inside I just left it blank. So these are our 2 quick and easy cards today. Do you like the thank you or the birthday card the best? So you can let me know whether you like which card that you like the best. Um, it's always fun, I think, to do tone on tone with your whatever color ink that you've chosen. Hello, Christina. Yes, go ahead and watch the replay. We did our barn chats at the beginning. I don't see any questions to answer today, but um, again, today is the last day to register for my Rustic Ink Creations Club. So if you want to give that a try, there's information in the description. And then I shared with you about my In Color Club, and that's just a 5-month subscription. So you'll get product for one color each month. And in the description, you can read more about that. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful week. And it's a beautiful day here in Iowa. The sun is out. Windy. It's been windy lately, but I always like it when the sun is shining. So thanks for stopping by. Have a great week. I'm Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. Take care. Bye for now.